learning how to handle tough situations with facts instead of emotions. It's about navigating those tricky moments with clarity and with confidence. There have been times in my life when I've let my emotions take the way, especially in situations where I felt misunderstood or treated unfairly. That knot in your stomach, the heat rising on your face, and suddenly you're saying things you wish you could take back. Those moments often left me feeling worse and not better. Over time, I realized that while emotions are valid, they don't always lead to the best outcomes. I needed a better way of communicating, and that's when I started to lean on facts instead of my feelings. The balance of emotion and logic. Our brains have two main players in the situations like this: the amygdala, which is the emotional center, and the prefrontal cortex, which is the rational, logical part. When something triggers you, your amygdala jumps into action. It's that fight or flight response. When your emotions are in overdrive, your logical brain tends to take a backseat. That's why it's so easy to say or do things in the heat of the moment that you later regret. The goal is to pause and give your prefrontal cortex time to catch up so that you can approach the situation with clarity. Pause, then process. The first thing I've learned to do is pause. When a situation feels overwhelming or unfair, I try to hit the brakes. Even if it's just a few seconds, it can truly make a whole lot of a difference. For example, instead of immediately reacting to a situation, I'll take a moment to ask myself a few questions. What exactly happened here? What facts do I know for sure? What's the best way to approach this calmly? The short pause has saved me so many times from saying things out of frustration. Focus on facts. Once you've paused, the next step is to focus on the facts. And here's why this is so powerful. Facts remove the guesswork. Instead of saying, I feel like you're being unfair, you can say, here's the situation as I understand it, and here's what I've noticed. Facts don't attack people, they simply lay out what is true. This approach not only helps you stay calm, but also makes the other person less defensive because it shifts the conversation away from blame and towards solutions. I remember the first time that this really clicked for me. I had to deal with a situation where I felt blindsided and I felt absolutely frustrated and angry. And normally I would have let my emotions guide me. But this time I decided to step back and prepare my facts. When I went into that conversation, I didn't raise my voice, I didn't focus on how I felt. It was about the data and the reasoning. And you know what? The response that I received and gave was completely different. It was less of a confrontation and more of a collaboration. And that's when I realized the power of approach. Now, here's why this works. People naturally respond better to calm, rational communication. When you're emotional, it can feel like an attack, even if that's not your intention. But when you come to the table with facts, it shows that you're being fair and you're being logical, which encourages the other person to do the same. And it creates a safe space for problem solving rather than an emotional battleground. Let me share a few quick tips that will help you build this habit and that I have learned over the years. Number one is to prepare ahead. If you know that you're going to walk into a tough conversation, write down your key points ahead of time. Having these notes will help you stay focused and calm. So even if you're not looking at these notes, you've already memorized it in your head because you've written it down. So it's easier to remember the facts. Speak clearly and speak concisely. Avoid over explaining. Just stick to those key facts. Practice empathy. Even though you're focusing on facts, don't forget to acknowledge how the other person might feel. Something as simple as, I understand this is frustrating, can go a long way. And reflect afterwards. After the conversation, take a moment to reflect on what went well and what could improve. This will help you get even better at handling these situations over time. So, I hope this is helpful for you. This is my take on handling situations with facts rather than emotions. It's not about shutting down your feelings, it's about balancing them with logic so that you can navigate these challenges with clarity and with confidence and with the solution in mind. Let me know in the comments which one tough situation you've had handled recently and how did you approach it? I would love to hear your stories. I would love to hear your tips. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need this advice. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, stay calm, stay factual, and take